Good evening. What do you get when you grab two groups of people who are practically the same and put them together in close proximity to fight to the death over literal trash bogs? You get Mage Arena. This game re-sparks the long brewing conflict between Staff and Wand, Tome and Grimoire, Warlocks versus sorcerers, and brings it to life so that you and your friends can scroll down hate speech and scream spells at the top of your lungs at each other all day long. Will I be able to survive in such a toxic environment and bring pride to the sorcerer cause, or will those filthy, mud hut living warlocks rain on my parade? Only one way to find out, so let us begin. Like any budding racial hatred enthusiast, I begin my journey in a dark cave with a little creature telling me, yes, they are in fact different. And with that out of the way, he then proceeds to tell me to scream into my microphone, and I can see the fruits of my labor almost immediately. Misery loves company, however, and I am not in short supply of either, so I decide to rope a couple of my friends in to engage in some lovely gang warfare, as well as being able to express ourselves in the arts. I would like to show what abominations we came up with, but contrary to popular belief, I do like my channel. So without further ado, we begin. Magic missile! Fireball! Oh, okay, fireball! Where the fuck are you? Please! Oh my god. With that hardcore practice map out of the way, we begin playing the actual game, where we capture various flags around the map, whilst cleansing the population surrounding them, and using their parts in our alchemy. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's just start at the beginning. While not having a clue on the specifics yet on how to play the game, my teammate and I scuttle quickly out of our home castle, and make our way over to our enemies. It is here where I get a first-hand lesson of what happens when you talk about spells without truly meaning them. Why are you shooting a fireball at the crow, man? What? No! I didn't mean to do that. Upon making our way into the castle, an all-out brawl takes place, to which I get my ass whooped. My punishment for such an embarrassing display is to be trapped in the bog. Alright, not a very good first showing, but I quickly redeem myself by finding my opponent's base and taking down their flag, replacing it with our piece of art. With our opponent's ability to respawn taken away, my job is done, and I spend my time genociding the freak gnomes, while my teammate on the other hand completely decimates our competition, bringing us a win for the good guys. But upon agreeing to a temporary truce to explore the game, we then make our way to Game 2. Now with exploration front of mind, we decide to take a trip to Albania. Now Albania is not a very nice place. It houses rival wizards itching to cast freeze on you so they can steal your kidneys. And as much as I love this game, its movement makes me want to dropkick the nearest puppy. So they decided to make this region solely accessible by a jumping puzzle. And if you dip even one toe into the lava, and you will, enjoy your 10 seconds of being on fire, idiot. But there is a purpose to all this pain, and it's these towers, each of which contain a chest, which hold a variety of items. Most important among them are the extra spells. You see, each wizard gets 4 spells inherently, all of which are pretty good. But there are 6 extra spells, and all of them, not you, are incredibly useful and can turn the tide in your wizard gang conflict. The most important part about this region is that the chests respawn, making them the easiest source of these extra spells, and also making sure that Albania stays a consistent hotspot for ethnic wizard tension. After pilfering the castle, we quickly realized that we had been betrayed. Our home base and ability to respawn was taken away, and after being jumped by those filthy warlocks, we lost. Switching the teams around yet again, we decided that it's time to delve into the mausoleum. Now why would we want to voluntarily throw ourselves into this pitch black pit filled with very scary fellas? Well, that's a tale as old as time. An item, or rather 2 items. The hilt of Excalibur and the blade of Excalibur. With these 2 together, we can create the Excalibur sword. And after finding the blade, we stumble across the hilt in record time and scamper back to base. This is where the first thing my friend decides to do with the blade is commit a cruel act of compatricide. Out of frustration, I decide to take my rage out on some forest gnomes. After getting extremely disoriented and harassed by those filthy warlocks, we engage in various skirmishes with ever-increasing intensity, until we find ourselves back at the mausoleum for a rather awkward encounter. Oh, hello! Fireball! We soon decide to use our resources to indulge in some alchemy, with varying results. What the fuck? After we had extensively explored the regions of this map, we finally decided to finish off the game by claiming each other's bases and then ending things off with a perfectly timed fireball, all in the day's work for the Sorcerer Master race. Because of our increase in skill, we decided that it was about damn time we roped some more sorry souls into our chaos, and so we managed to wrangle 2 more into this mess. This time, the lava castle was placed at the center of the map, meaning that this area was sure to be a powder keg for the entire game. And as expected, not long after the game had begun, turf wars over control of Albania had begun in earnest. Once there was a brief moment of control on our side, I pilfered the coffers of the lava towers, giving me control of 2 new spells, Thunderbolt and Blink, both of which were used to devastating effect to send those filthy warlocks straight to hell, where they belong. I feel like it would be doing a disservice if I did not mention how much more chaotic the game became when we moved from 4 to 6 players, leading to exceedingly messier conflict. But that did not matter, as after a brawl for the ages, the sorcerers had come out victorious yet again. This match began much like the last, however this time upon entering the mausoleum, we get jumped by a variety of naughty creatures, including the Lich and its minions. This resulted in some unforeseen buffoonery. Magic missile!
Sorry. What are you doing?
The loot acquired in this pilfering was fantastic, as I had found the best spell in the game, Dark Blast, and handed it off to my friend because I had faith in his abilities, and then to almost immediately have my faith dashed when he died. Not long after, we were swarmed by the filthy warlocks, who were already making a play for our base, as well as getting a first-hand view of the spell that I had so foolishly given away. For almost the entirety of this game, we were on the back foot, as the RNG involved in the respawns of this game kept screwing us over, time and time again, as the enemy team would only respawn a couple feet away from our base, and then be able to jump straight back into the fight. Eventually they were able to overrun us, so I took the initiative and took their base, only to then be jumped by a filthy warlock who 1v3'd us. Yeah, we'll just ignore that one. After the past round, we decided to ease our Wizard Clan rivalry by letting our creative muscles flex, where my team created this masterpiece, but even a masterpiece has vandals trying to take away from its positive message. After getting stuck in the crystal cave and getting moderately frustrated, the exploration of the lava castle begins, where I clasp my hands upon a very interesting spell. With this spell, I make off like a bandit and live to fight another day, is what I would have said if the moment I headed back to base, I didn't get my hair charred by a well-placed fireball. With that, my spells were stolen, but there will be another chance later. After being put on the back foot yet again and needing to engage in a desperate fight to the death over our base, I make my way to the lava castle to get my hands on some mighty items to help in our defense, since our base and our ability to respawn had been taken once more. But to my luck, I stumbled yet again across Dark Blast, and as we're getting ready to recall... Yep, alright. What? What? I didn't even say it! Now, did that sound like Dark Blast? I don't think so. But it did not matter, as our base was already in the hands of the dastardly warlocks, and there was no chance. The time had come, the definitive conflict between the sorcerers and the warlocks. For many generations, our 2 clans had fought over the Big Hill and the Deadly Swamp, but now we finally sort things out. The game starts as most have up to this point. I rush to the volcano castle to rat as much loot as I can before eventually burning myself to death and losing everything. Alright, not a great start, but it's only up from here. Did I say up? Well, I meant straight down to hell, since the warlocks were already at our base, causing trouble. After deciding to not get stuck in this cycle yet again, I instead draw my attention to the enemy base, where those silly little warlocks were up in their towers, being bitches. Before too long, their hubris had caught up to them, and I was able to steal a jump pad away from one of their defenders, allowing me to get into their base and take their flag unimpeded. The victims had become the victees. Also, the Warlocks lost one of their players. L. Now that we had got them on the run, all there was left was to finish them off, which I did with this sick post-mortem play. With that, sorcerers stay winning. Warlocks got nothing on the sorcerers. In conclusion, this game is very fun. Go buy it. It's $4.50 New Zealand, which is like, I don't know, 12 cents USD, for some top quality friend slop. More videos on the way, TM, soon.